Hey, it's Sean, and we're going to do a quick review of 2120 by George Wylesol. And it's a very interesting book. So, first, before we get into this, what led me to ending up owning this book is when I was about 11, 12 years old, maybe, for like 50 cents in a thrift store, I got this Dungeons and Dragons ish kind of game book. I had no idea what it was. I just thought the pictures looked really cool. And I got it for like 50 cents, and I was obsessed with it for a while. I thought it was such a cool thing. It was basically a point and click adventure game, like a dungeon crawler, except instead of on a computer screen, it was all contained within a book. And in the dungeon, if you went forward, there would be a page number. There would be a page number to go back, be a page number to go left, page number to go right, and you just try to make your way out of this dungeon. And randomly, that was coming back into my memory in the last year or two, and it took me a year to even figure out what that book was. It's called Black Baron and White Warlord. It was like a set of books because you could also play a two-player version, and that was by Joe Deaver from 1987. So it was only a 7 years old publication by the time I bought it in a thrift store. When I was a little kid. But I was obsessed with it back then. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And I've not seen a lot of books that do that similar thing. And what I found interesting is the full set of books is going for $800 now on eBay. So that's pretty crazy. It shows that other people liked it too. And it's rare. And it's not a common thing that a lot of people are making. So with that being said, I did research what in the present day exists that is at all similar to that, like a game book. And now I find that if you start searching for game book stuff, you end up largely within the realm of like Dungeons and Dragons and Dungeon Master type shit. They call those game books. And a lot of times, I mean, I've never played D&D. I don't know anything about it, but a lot of times I think what it is that they have these game books that are just full of scenarios and descriptions of environments and descriptions of items, and then the dungeon master or whatever creates their own game and like out of that with the players and like references the items. So it's different. That's like the hardcore nerd world, and I've never played a Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing, so I'm not so much interested in that. I think all the overly complicated rules in D&D type games distracts from the fun to me. I think some people, what they like for fun is rolling a bunch of dice and doing a bunch of formulas and doing a bunch of math and leveling up, and I'm not into that. I like games where you can be passive and explore, and it's about the adventure, and you don't have to concern yourself with math and stuff. So in my research, I found that 2120 here was one of the only books that I could find, with a few other exceptions, that was very similar. So you can see here on the cover, we're on page 0, and it basically just gives you an intro. This is not a linear book. You'll be presented with a number of options on each page. To choose an option, turn to the page number marked in yellow. You controlled Wade Duffy, a computer repairman set to fix a computer in this building. And this takes place in like 1996. And the author is from Pennsylvania. And overall, just this book gave me East Coast vibes. I can't really explain it, but this is when you drive through the Rust Belt, like you'll drive past places that look like this every day. Some beat up old parking lot and shuttered building, and I just like the 90s vibe, and that's kind of my favorite thing, that the character that he put into this. You can tell this guy grew up in the 90s, and it's got a nostalgia kind of vibe to it, but this is all it is this book could have just as easily been a computer game or a website. And every place where there's one of these yellow numbers, this could have just been a link in a game, and these could have all just been static pictures, and you just click the links on a computer, and you would have ended up with the exact same experience. You would have ended up with the same exact game as now. And so sometimes you can unlock passwords, like here's a CD that you find when you open a thing. It has a number written on it, second floor access. So that number ends up being a page number that you use later. Like you take it to a computer and you end up using numbers like this to like unlock other doors and puzzles and stuff. What's this book actually about? I don't want to spoil the plot and stuff, but like essentially it's just like absurdist, surrealist, fantastical. It's just an artistic experience. It's just an adventure. It's not supposed to make too much sense. It makes a little bit of sense. Like here you can use a whole computer. Go to page 104 to log in. And that's like the computer interface. And it makes a little bit of sense, but it's not supposed to make sense, honestly. It's just an artistic expression of this guy's idea, in my opinion. The art is quirky. I don't think it's spectacularly amazing art that makes me just want to keep going and turning pages because I love the art so much. It's kind of like crude art and rough, and it looks like season 1 of The Simpsons or something. This is a crux of the book. You end up in a big room full of all these doors, and it gets kind of frustrating because only one of these doors like advances the story forward, and you end up having to like check all of them. So you end up flipping between all the stuff, and then there's a lock here. You end up in one of the doors, you get the combo, and you end up unlocking it. So that's like halfway through the book. I don't want to turn it too much further because I feel like I'll start to give spoilers. So you get the idea on the art. But I just think this is so cool. I understood exactly this concept when I was like 11 when I got the White Warlord book. And my whole childhood and adolescence, I always wondered why isn't there a genre of, why isn't there thousands of these books? Like for every point and click static adventure game that was ever created, there could be a book version of it. And I feel like one reason that there's not a lot of these books is this book is 500 pages long. And if you're just doing it the human way, you're going to have a system for manually tracking all these page links. Like it could be so easy to make a mistake where you need to edit your storyline and now you have to like change the page numbers and then things don't fit and you got to go update every one of these links to make the page number match. And I think because of that technical hurdle, I think that's why there hasn't been so many projects like this. There is software that exists to assist you in making stuff exactly like this. One of the software is called Twine. I haven't used it too much or anything, but I was researching what exists to help you do this. And so I ended up, I've actually made a solution to do stuff like this using AI. I had AI generate code that can track all these page number links for me. And I've got an idea that I want to make a book like this, a point and click adventure in the form of a book. That's the wrap on my review though. I really like it. I like the creativity. I like the idea of making a game in a book. Art, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Adventure, the actual storyline and the adventure, I'll give that a 7 out of 10. Overall gameplay and fun, give that a 7 out of 10. Overall, we're going to give this book a B. Very unique concept, really cool that he pulled it off. And if the same author or anybody else made something really similar to this, I'd be highly likely to check it out and buy it because I'm researching into this kind of field lately about what exists here, and I'm trying to see if I can make my own entry into this kind of genre. So it's 2120, George Wylesol. Hope you like it. See ya.